Hello there, everybody, and welcome to Seawork Connect 2021. It's obviously not the Seawork we were expecting and hoping for, but many thanks to Mercator Media for organising this event. My name is Simon Barnett, and I am the sales manager here at Proteum, and later I'll be joined by Neil Taylor, the general manager, and Nikki Yeoman. So Proteum are a distributor of a number of diesel inboard engines, as well as powertrains and engine control systems. In this live session, we'll be talking about the benefits of the OXE diesel outboards and the different options available when installing those engines. What we have is a short 4-minute video for you. And then at the end of the video, we'll be taking some questions and answers. So please do watch the video and stick around. If you have any questions, please put them in the chat box on the right-hand side, and we look forward to answering them at the end of this video. Many thanks.
Welcome to Proteum. I'm Simon Barnett, the sales manager. Proteum are the distributors of the OXE range of diesel outboards. They come in a range of horsepower: 125 horsepower, 150 horsepower, 175 horsepower, 200 horsepower, and 300 horsepower. The powerhead and gearbox of the OXE diesel outboards is found well above the waterline. The filters, impellers are all found at the front of the powerhead, ensuring easy daily checks and also easy serviceability. Many of the serviceable items originate from the automotive industry, reducing the cost and lead times if required at short notice. The OXE range of diesel outboards incorporate closed-circuit cooling. Therefore, a calorifier can be utilised aboard the vessel to run hot water or a warm air blower. The Dometic 360 joystick steering system has been validated for the range of OXE outboards. This ensures precise steering and manoeuvrability in close quarter manoeuvring. Built by Berth and Boat Company and fitted with shocks mitigation seating and also an OXE 200 horsepower diesel outboard. You may be forgiven for thinking that this is a commercially operated rib. However, it's owned by a couple whose intentions are to explore the west coast of Scotland and also Northern Ireland. The reason that they fitted the OXE diesel outboard was because of the availability of diesel in these remote locations. Having been in production for 5 years and with hundreds of engines in operation worldwide, the OXE range of diesel outboards are no longer new to the market. They are recognised as an economical, a robust and a reliable powering option throughout the commercial, the defence, search and rescue and also within the leisure industry. Proteum understands a common stumbling block to purchasing the OXE outboards is the initial purchase price, but we're now proud and pleased to offer Power in Partnership. So Power in Partnership, it means the customer only pays for the installation and the rigging of the engine. Typically that's about £6,250. Then benefits from all of the characteristics of a diesel outboard, such as the 40% better fuel economy, the longer service intervals, but minimising that initial capital outlay. The customer will then pay on an hourly basis for the time the outboard's in operation, and that's typically £14 to £16 per hour. This also includes all of the servicing for the duration of the partnership. It's quite simple. If you're not using your boat, you're not paying for the engine. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the S.M.A.R.T engineer developed by Proteum. The service, monitoring and remote tracking engineer has been exclusively developed by Proteum to enable the end user to remotely monitor in real time the data provided by their engines. A simple red, amber or green visual reference for each parameter of the engine allows you to quickly check that the engine is operating normally, or if action needs to be taken. It predicts a possible future failure, which could otherwise result in downtime and a loss of earnings. Automated warnings by either email or SMS text message will alert the operator to any impending issues. This allows them to resolve the problem then and there or during the next planned service cycle. All the data collected by the smart engineer is available to the end user or the fleet operator through an online portal with customizable reports providing valuable insight that could lead to a dramatic cost saving in either fuel consumption or operational benefits. For more information, please feel free to call me on 07970 116 437 or email simon.barnett@proteum.co.uk.
Hello everyone, hope you've really enjoyed watching our OXE Diesel Outboard video and it's whet your appetite for more information. Well, Simon and Neil, we've had some great questions that have come in today, so I will kick off with the first one from Sean. He actually asks, what are the benefits that Diesel Outboard has versus the Petrol Outboard?
Hi there, Sean. So number of benefits, obviously. So the first one being the fuel consumption. Typically a diesel outboard, or the OXE diesel outboards, will use 40% or up to 40% less fuel. So there's huge benefits there in cost savings. Also, as well, is the extended range and the availability of diesel. So we know on the south coast, plenty of marinas for filling your tanks. However, when we go further north into more remote areas, and on the Thames, for example, very difficult there to bunker fuel. So that's just three of the benefits of running a diesel outboard.
That's great. I hope that answers Sean's question. We've also had another one coming regarding repowering. The question is from Steve, says about repowering from a petrol to a diesel. What the modifications do they have to actually make? Is it quite simple?
Okay, yeah, thanks for the question, Steve. So typically when repowering from a petrol to a OXE diesel outboard, the biggest consideration is probably adding a return line to the fuel tank, which isn't normally an issue. We've done it on a number of boats. The other thing to probably have a think about as well is the maximum transom weights. The OXE diesel outboards are typically about 100 kilos heavier than your typical four-stroke engine. So the transom weight is also something to consider. But we're more than happy to help and advise on any of those points.
Excellent. Thanks, Simon. Also, we've had another question come in from Paula. How many OXE outboards are operating in the UK, and who are operating these at the moment?
Okay, so we've got 32 engines in operation so far in the UK, with a number just still to be commissioned. And they're typically being operated by companies up in Scotland, such as the salmon sea farms. Also, we have a number of charter companies who provide rib rides and sea safaris, things like that. And also, you may have seen over the social media channels that we've just commissioned a triple 200 horsepower installation with PDL, and that's aboard a 13-meter landing craft that will be operated on the Thames to carry a variety of different materials on the Thames.
Fantastic. Thanks, Simon. And I hope that answers your question, Paula. And we've got another one in from Orion. Do you have a service and support network at Proteum?
Yes, so we do. So we have a number of dealers and service and support partners around the UK, and that's a network that we're hoping to build as more engines come into operation.
Okay, thank you. That's great. And also another one's just come in from Luke. Could you give us some more detail about the S.M.A.R.T engineer?
Yeah, for sure. So I'll hand this one over to Neil, if that's okay.
Yeah, the S.M.A.R.T engineer we developed internally at Proteum. It was geared purely around the OXE Diesel Outboard originally, so that we could monitor the engine and also compare it to the petrol equivalent, so we could demonstrate to the customers how much money they were saving against the petrol outboards. It's a system that uses a 4G any network SIM card, so it basically works like your mobile phone. There is an internal memory in the system as well, so that if it does lose signal for any reason, it stores up to 2 days worth of running of the engine, and then when it comes back into signal, it beams it up to the online portal. It is real live data, so it reports the whole time the engine's running, and I think this is what stands it out from the other systems that are on the market. We developed the system for the OXE outboards, so that we could compare them directly with the petrol equivalent to help the commercial customer differentiate between the two. But also I think it gives the owners, the operators, the fleet managers a lot of information as to how the boats are being used and how they can potentially save money as well. I think the thing that stands us out the most from anything else that's on the market is it is live data that's being uploaded, so it uses a 4G any network SIM card to beam the data up to the online portal, but it also has an internal memory on board the boat that if they lose signal for any reason, it then saves all the data into the internal memory and beams it all back up once the signal's been restored. So we've got these systems running in Shetland where there's obviously limited signal, and we've never had any issues with them in the time that they've been running up there, and the competitors use a sort of a Bluetooth signal that you still need an engineer on board to be able to download the information, whereas this is real live data. It monitors it all autonomously, so we've set parameters within the system that can highlight any potential future failures if turbo boost pressures are dropping or pressures and things like that. So it just monitors the engine. It's like having an engineer on board 24/7.
That's great. Thanks, Neil. And also for anybody else out there who wants any more details on S.M.A.R.T, if you do want to just visit our website at proteum.co.uk and go into the products section, there is a S.M.A.R.T box there that you can find out some more details about it. And we'll be launching a video on YouTube in the next coming week or so. So please do look out for that. Hi, welcome back, Simon. I was just explaining to Neil that we had a slight interlude or interval, and it was explained to everybody that I was apologetic I couldn't hand out the teas and coffees, but I'm glad to have you back. We've also had a question come in from Ashton Goddard, who said about the main comparison between the OXE and the Cox 300. Is that something one of you could please pick up?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just coincidence. Obviously, the OXE diesel outboards went into production approximately 5 years ago now, and I believe the Cox was named after the chap who came up with the initial idea of manufacturing a diesel outboard. But no, two very separate companies.
Okay, great. I think he did say any additional comparisons, or is that something really not for this forum?
Yeah, the OXE and the Cox are the two only really high-powered diesel outboards in the marketplace at the moment. I think if you look at the main comparisons, I guess our engine is closed water cooled, so there's no salt water running through the engine block, which increases the longevity and the life of the engine, but also enables us to run calorifier tanks and heaters and things like that from board the commercial vessels. I guess that's one key feature. Our patented belt drive system as well, which is how we transmit the torque from the power head down to the propeller. It's a patented belt drive technology, although it's been used in the automotive from bikes, BMW bikes and things like that for a number of years. So again, it's proven technology just developed into the marine market. So it's much more efficient in transferring that torque effectively down to the prop without lots of internal gears and things like that to fail. And the base engine of the OXE is developed from an automotive. So as Simon said in the video, it means that the parts are readily available and at a reasonable price, you know, off the shelf items.
Great, Neil, thank you. And hopefully that answers Andrew's question. And at the moment, I think this is our last question that's come in from Mike. He's just asked if you could give some more details about the Param partnership and how it actually works.
Yeah, certainly. So thanks for the question, Mike. So Param partnership has been developed. We know that the initial purchase price of the outboards is prohibitive to some people. However, with so many units now in production worldwide, we're very confident in our engines. So basically, Mike, it's a case of the customer pays for the installation and the rigging of the engine, and then pays on an hourly basis, basically. So typically, the installation of the engine will cost around £6,200, depending on the engine specification. And then the customer then will pay on an hourly basis. That helps them then to be able to budget their operating costs throughout the year. The hourly rate typically is between £14 and £18 per hour, but that also includes all of the servicing, all of the parts and warranty throughout the term of the agreement.
Okay, that's great. Thanks ever so much, Simon. So, Mike, I really hope that answers your question. Ashton Goddard has just asked another question. Thanks, Ashton. Is the S.M.A.R.T engineer included in the Param partnership offering, and will customers have access to that data?
They absolutely will. So, yes, that's included in the Param partnership. And so how it works, as you can probably see behind me, there's a screen there with the S.M.A.R.T engineer. And that's a web-based application. So any fleet operator or vessel operator will have live data that is available to them that they can see at any time. And we can actually pull reports off then at the end of every week or every month to see how the engine has been operated, and with potential savings then in fuel economy. You know, we can see how it's being used. And for example, actually, is one of the salmon fishing farms in Scotland. They had the S.M.A.R.T engineer fitted, and within the first month, they were able to see fuel savings of at least £200 per boat by just actually dropping the revs down by 400 revs each day. So I hope that helps.
Yeah, that's great. So Ashton, I really hope that answers your question, that Param partnership, and S.M.A.R.T engineer kind of work together, so it all comes as part of an OXE package. So that's all the questions from me, and just to reiterate really that if there is any more details that you want, then you're welcome to visit our website at www.proteum.co.uk to find out more about the OXE, the Param partnership and S.M.A.R.T. There is also a total cost of ownership tool on there, so if you are thinking of switching out your current outboard to a OXE diesel outboard, then that will give you some calculation and some figures. So that's great. So that's it from me, and I'll hand you back over to Simon and Neil.
Okay, so I think hopefully that's answered all the questions that have been put up today. Like I say, we are always just a phone call or an email away, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have, or if you require any more information from us. Just leaves me to say thank you very much for taking the time to join us today, and also thank you to Mercator Media for organising the event. Have a good day.